Today I'm here with the next poem of 10th class, and the poem is A Tiger in the Zoo by George Leslie Norris. Tiger, the king of the jungle, the majestic animal, the most wild, he is the wildest and the most majestic and the most fearless. That is why he is known as the king of the jungle. He belongs to the cat family. This cat family, the wild ones, the lion, the tiger, they are the rulers of the jungle. But what happens when we cage them, when we confine them? Are they made to be in cages? Did God create them to be behind the bars? No. They were created the most majestic and the wildest and the most fearless to rule the jungle. Everyone, each one of us has a fear of tiger. What fun caging it, just to go and have a look in the zoo? Why not? We let them free and live their own majestic lives. Why do we cage animals? We should leave them free. They have been made to live in the jungles and the forests, to rule there, to search their prey there. They are hunters. Why do we go and hunt them? Why do we cage them? Why do we kill them? Humans are not letting them live a free and an independent life. We are destroying their habitat. We are killing these animals. We are caging them, bringing them to the zoos. It's wrong. And George Leslie Norris has explained the agony and helplessness of this fearless tiger when it is caged. Let us quickly go through the poem. He has written about this tiger who is confined in a cage, a small cage. You know, the tiger is habitual of living in the jungle, the huge jungle, the vast jungle. He moves in the tall grass. He waits for the prey to come. He has his own ways, his own way, isn't it? But when we cage this animal, what are the feelings in this animal? Let us see in his poem. And Norris has used many poetic devices, and that has brought out the beauty of the poem. The poem is very simple. Very simple. You just go through it and you come to know what it is. But the devices, the literary and the poetic devices that he has used has increased, has enhanced, the beauty of the poem also, and has clearly explained the feelings of this fearless tiger when it is behind bars. So let us quickly see the poem. He stalks in his vivid steps, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet, quiet, in his quiet rage. Now he is the tiger. This is a poetic device that he has used. Norris has used a poetic device. Tiger is not a human person. He is not a human being. But when the poet has used it. He has used a literary device, and that is personification. So we are treating this animal as a person. All right. So he stalks in his vivid steps. In his vivid, it is stripes. You know, this beautiful animal has got, you know, these beautiful stripes. So velvety this animal is. You look at this, you know, the velvety skin of the tiger, they look so majestic and beautiful. And these stripes are very beautiful. And in these beautiful stripes, he is moving, he stalks in the cage, he's moving, he's walking in the cage. The few steps of his cage, you know, just few steps, because the cage is not big. It is a small cage. So he just goes through that cage, he's walking there on the pads of velvet white. You know, his claws, his pads, this area, the area under his feet, his claws are all very paddy, very velvety, very soft. And in those soft velvet pads, he is moving, he is walking in the cage in his quiet rage. He rages what? Rages anger. Rages anger. He is very angry because he has been made a captive. He wants to be free. He wants to walk in the, you know, the vast jungle, the vast expanse of the forest. But now he has been put into a small cage. And he is very angry, but he cannot do anything. He is behind bars. So he is quiet. He is controlling his anger. He is quiet. This word has been used twice to show that he is walking on his, you know, this majestic animal, this beautiful animal with beautiful stripes on his body is walking in the cage, but trying to control his anger. He cannot do anything. He is helpless. And the poet has used this word quiet to show, to emphasize, to stress the way he is controlling his anger. Anger because he has been put behind bars. He has been caged. And he's very angry about it. But he cannot do anything. Alright, then moving on. There are other poetic devices also, but I'll discuss all these. There are many poetic devices. We'll discuss them all at the end. Alright, so this was the explanation of the first poem, first paragraph. The second, he should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass, near the water hole, where plump deer pass. Now the poet says that he has been confined behind the bars, when now he should have been free, and he should, if he was free, he would be lurking in the shadows, sliding through the long grass, you know. He would be hiding, waiting for the prey to come. He would be moving behind these long grass, you know, so that no animal is able to see him. He would hide there quietly, and when the prey would come, he would just plunge on it. So he should have been there. Now he is here caged. He cannot do anything. He is desperate and helpless. So he says that he should have been there, you know, behind the long grass and near the water hole. You know, these lions and tigers, they know where the prey will come. And when the thirsty deer, plump deer comes near the water hole to drink water, it is there they attack their prey. They are made like that. They have been created like that. They are the wild animals. They hunt their prey. Alright? So he should have been doing this. But right now he is here behind the bars. So there is a clear contrast between what his life here is and what it could have been when it was free. Alright? Next, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So the poet says that he should have been snarling. This is the sound word. The tiger roars, the tiger snarls. That sound that it takes out. And if anyone near the jungles, at the outskirts of the jungles, there are villages. And if they get to hear, the villagers get terrorized that the tiger is moving out. And so everybody, when they are terrorized, they stay in. So he says that he has been made that way. He is not afraid of anyone. People are afraid of the tiger. So he should have been snarling around the houses, at the edge of the jungle, at the outskirts of the jungle where there are villages. Baring his white fangs, he has got those teeth, the white teeth that, he uses for tearing and eating. And his claws, which are very pointed, the way they hold the animal, and with the claws they, suppress the animal, and then the animal is caught and gone. So, the tiger is made for doing this. He has been created to hunt his prey. But why did humans have to, put him behind the bars? We were not made that way. So he should have been showing his white fangs, his white teeth, and his claws that are so pointed, with that, the nails are very pointed, terrorizing the village. And the sounds of the tiger, the teeth of the tiger, the claws, the pointed nails of the tiger, they all terrorize the villagers. He should have been doing that, but right now he's behind the bars in a zoo where people come and look at him. Everybody is enjoying the view, but he is agony and helpless when he is caged in a zoo. But he is locked in a concrete cell. What is concrete? Concrete is made of stones, bricks, cement and all that, So he has been caged in such a cell, a strong cell. He cannot break through. His strength behind the bars. His strength, he is the most powerful. And we have put this powerful animal behind the bars. You open the bars and see what happens. So right now it is locked, it is confined in the cell, and his strength is also confined behind the bars. Stalking the length of his cage, he has just that cage area to walk through. Stalking is a movement word, alright? Walking through, walking inside, ignoring visitors, and he is least interested in the visitors who are going there, watching him, looking at him, enjoying his majestic look. But he is not at all bothered. He just ignores them. Last paragraph. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So the poet says that he stays in the cage the whole day, day and night he's inside. And at night, he also hears the voice of the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are which cars? The cars that either the forest officers or the police officers, they go around patrolling, checking everything is okay or not. So then they have their siren running, and he is able to hear that voice at night. That is the last voice, because then everybody is inside, it's become dark, or everybody has gone from the zoo and it is all silent, but he's able to see hear the sounds of the patrolling cars. And then in such a helpless condition, what can he do? So he just stares with his brilliant eyes. These tigers and lions, they come out at night and their eyes are sparkling and twinkling at night. Because that is the time when they try to search for the prey. They go and drink water. They are not afraid of any animal. They are not afraid of darkness. They are the kings. They are the majestic people, the most fearless and the most powerful. But right now, he stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So here, this brilliant word has been used. This is a repetition to emphasize on the fact that the way the stars shine, in the same way, these eyes are twinkling. Such beauty this animal has got. Alright, so this was a very simple poem explaining the desperateness and agony and helplessness of this powerful animal. Let us quickly see the poetic devices. Now, rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme all throughout is same. Let us see for just one paragraph. It's the same for the others also. Let's take up this one. Suppose this one. Alright. I'll remove this. Now, let us see. If it is lurking in shadow, we make shadow A. Grass is B. Alright. Then, hole is C. And pass is grass and pass are same. So it becomes AB, CB. So poetic devices AB, CB. Alright, let us see here. Stripes, cage, quiet and rage. So they both are same. So this is A, B, C and B. Alright, so it runs through this same rhyming scheme is there in the whole poem. So this was the rhyme scheme. Next is the metaphor. Metaphor is used for comparison. Here the poet George Leslie Norris has compared the paws, the paddy paws, the soft paws of the lion with velvet. So this is a metaphor, right? This is a metaphor. Metaphor is done. Then is personification. I told you, wherever the poet has referred to the tiger as he. See, it is here, he, again he, then again he. So all this is personification, right? Then next is enchantment. What is enchantment? When a sentence is very long and it continues to the other line without any punctuation mark in a poem. Now just look at here. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage. There is no punctuation mark here. Such a long sentence running without a punctuation mark here. This is enchantment. Alright. Now look at here. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass. There is no punctuation mark here. So this is enchantment. When a long sentence is running in a poem, continuing to the next line without a punctuation mark. So that is enchantment and it is running through the whole poem, you can see. Next is imagery. The poet has used such words that you can imagine the condition, the scene, lurking in the shadows, sliding through the long grass. You can imagine the tiger, hiding, waiting for the prey to come, moving quietly through the tall grass, long grass. You can imagine that. Alright, then you can imagine him moving inside the cage, the small cage. You can imagine the size of the cage. The way the words have been used, we can imagine the way he's, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. We can imagine all this. So everywhere he has used imagery. Alright, then consonants. I have also, mentioned this before in some poem. Consonants are, we have alliteration, assonance and consonants which seem to be similar but they are different. Now consonants is for consonants. Consonants which are used again and again in the same line but not only in the beginning but in the middle and the end also. Alliteration is when consonants are used together in the same line when they are starting, the word is starting with consonant. But consonants is when a consonant is used again and again. It can be in the middle of the sentence also and in the end, starting anywhere. So let us see consonants. Consonants is with consonant. Consonant are not A-E-I-O-U. Leaving A-E-I-O-U, the others are consonants. Alright, so let us see See, he has used the word S, the letter S here, again S here, in his S, stripes S, here also S. So see, lot of S has been used. Stocks, his, with stripes. So lot of S has been used. This is consonants. Now let us see here. Alright, see shadow, alright, and shadow. Should and shadow. This is alliteration. This we come to know because they are the starting. But wherever, you know, we use consonants when there are a lot of repetition of a particular consonant in the same line. It can be in the beginning also, in the middle also, at the end also. See here at the end also, at the end, here at the end, at the beginning. Alright, so it's running through the whole poem, you can see. There are many instances of consonants. Then is oxymoron. What is oxymoron? It is a poetic device when adjectives are used. Two adjectives are used together, but they are contrasting to each other. They don't relate. They are the opposites. Alright, so here quiet, rage. Rage is anger. Quiet is not being, you know, quiet is when you are quiet. You are calm and quiet. So here rage is anger, fury, but the tiger has tried to control and he is quiet. So here, this is the example of oxymoron. Alright, there we have just one oxymoron here. Then next is assonance. Assonance, as I told you, when a lot of vowel is used. Lot of vowel is used in the sentence, not only at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. Alright, so let us see the examples of assonance. See here, I is used a lot. I have put double lines on this. See, in, his, vivid, two eyes here, one eye here, one eye here, stripes. So in one line there are a lot of eyes. When we use a lot of vowels in the same line, then that is assonance. Alright, next you can see here, should, around, houses. Lot of O used here. So these are instances of assonance. Right? Then next is alliteration. Now let us find alliteration. See, stalks and stripes, SS. Alliteration is when consonants are used in the same line and they are starting of the word. Alright? Then we have, let us go through the whole thing. We have plump, alright, and we have pass. This plump is here, then we have pass here, then we have behind and bars, alright. So these are alliterations. Now, Anamotopia. What is this? This poetic device is referring to the sounds. Alright. So here the sound word that has been used is snarling. So this is the instance of onomatopoeia. Alright. Then I have already talked about repetition. This quiet and quiet is repeated. Why is repetition used? To stress or emphasize on a point. So here it is trying to emphasize that the tiger is trying to control its anger. Alright, and here brilliant and brilliant, the beauty of the stars, twinkling stars, they are so beautiful, they are so brilliant. In the same way, the eyes of the tiger are brilliant too. So to emphasize on that. Alright, and then contrast. We can see in the whole poem, the poet has contrasted the life of a tiger when he is confined behind the bars and life of the tiger when he is in the jungle. Alright, now when he is inside, he has just a small cage to move around. Alright, but in the jungle, he could be moving, hiding in the tall grass, and then he would be there in the vast expanse of the forest, hiding here and there, waiting for the prey to come. He would be sitting near the water hole. So he has the whole jungle to move about fearlessly. Alright, so these are the instances of contrast. And his strength, this line also shows a lot. His strength behind the bars, and you can well imagine the strength that is outside. So he has used such words to bring out the majesty of this tiger. But when it is behind the bars, the agony, the desperateness, the helplessness that the tiger goes through, it is so beautifully brought out in the poem. Alright, and he has also used a lot of movement words. See, we can see he stalks. These are movement words. Lurking, alright, sliding, all these show the movement. Alright, such a nice poem. Just go through it. Poem, the words are very simple. Only thing is that you should know all the poetic devices and wherever they are used and why they are used. Go through my video, read your poem. You will really enjoy the beauty of the poem. And yes, try not to cage these animals. I have seen some people cage the parrots. Why not? Let them free. God has given them wings to fly high in the sky. Let them fly. Let animals be free. Take good care of yourself. Please, if you have still not subscribed my channel, please do so. And also tell your friends and relatives to do so. Do take good care of yourself. Goodbye.